I'm very happy to be taking part in the symposium and to be able to share some of our work. I'd like to start by describing the context in which we carried out our research. We are in the city of Joinville, located in the state of Santa Catarina, in the south of Brazil, at a public university, where we are working on training chemistry teachers to work in secondary schools. The implementation of a new curriculum based from 2022 has substantially changed the organization of the curriculum in Brazilian schools. In the old secondary school, there were 12 different subjects that students had to complete over 3 years. In the model that began to be implemented 2022, the new common national curriculum base now organizes the curriculum in 4 areas of knowledge, which combines 3 or more curricular components. In this model, the chemistry curriculum component became part of the area of natural science and their technologies, along with physics and biology. The second change we highlight is the focus of teaching, which is no longer on objects of knowledge, but on the development of competences defined by the BNCC as the mobilization of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values to solve the complex demands of everyday life. The full exercise of citizenship on the world of work. 10 general competencies are defined for the whole of basic education, which includes early childhood education, primary education, and secondary education, as well as 3 specific competencies for the area of natural sciences and a further set of skills associated with each competence. One important change is the definition of argumentation as a basic general competence to be developed at all stages of education in all areas of knowledge. The common national curriculum base requires new teaching competence relating to pedagogical planning and the focus of teaching. Pedagogical planning must be interdisciplinary. The focus of teaching must be on developing competence and skills. Teachers must develop argumentation. Future teachers who are completing their training will begin their professional lives during the transition process. As these changes occurred before undergraduate courses adapted to the new demands, this put these teachers in a working situation out of field during their internship, requiring them to have knowledge that is different from the acquired during their training, which is still of specialized disciplinary nature. Our aim is therefore to identify that difficulties these future teachers would have when planning and implementing lessons for the new secondary school, and now the internship subject in the last phase of the chemistry course could contribute to their training. Didactic sequences carried out by 7 training teachers during their internship in the last phase of the chemistry course. To meet the demands, the teachers in training had to plan and carry out 2 didactic sequences of 6 to 8 lessons each, observing the following requirements. An integrating team should be chosen for each didactic sequence. The integrating team should be socially relevant and enable an interdisciplinary and contextualized approach to scientific knowledge. The first sequence should present a problematization that encourages the development of argumentation. The second sequences should present a challenge to be solved using a STEAM. To help the teachers, a script was developed for planning the didactic sequences, and during the internship orientation, discussions were held on scientific articles on STEAM and argumentation in science teaching and on the demands of the new secondary school. The sequences were carried out in public secondary schools in the city of Joinville. The results of activities were presented in the internship report, along with a self-assessment in which they wrote freely about the main challenges, failures, and success during the internship. The self-evaluations were analyzed using Turing's argument pattern. Difficulties during the planning and execution of didactic success. About the methodological difficulties, among the 7 teachers in training, 6 of them explicitly expressed some kind of methodological difficulty when planning didactic sequences to meet the demands on the new secondary school. Based on the argumentative analysis of the self-assessment presented in the internship report, we highlight the following fragments. The use of specific methodologies require a lot of research and discussion with the teacher and colleagues. It required a lot of time to consult official documents and identify the schools applicable to each of the chosen subjects. It was difficult to break away from the traditional teaching model. I had to come up with several proposals until I found the most suitable one. The activity required different knowledges and competences from those in which they were being trained. They had to change the way they planned their lessons, move away from a focus on teaching specific disciplinary content to developing competences and skills, while at the same time appropriating new methodologies for developing argumentation and the STEAM approach. 2 teachers expressed their difficulties in mastering the integrating theme to be explored in teaching sequences. Mastering the integrated theme required a lot of research and study time. I asked the students to highlight the elements of argumentation present in journalistic text without being prepared to answer the questions asked during the discussion. Mastering the integrated themes require a lot of research and study time on the part of the teacher, given their interdisciplinary nature. Dissatisfaction with the methodology of the teaching resources used. 4 teachers expressed their dissatisfaction with the methodological choices and teaching resources used in their lessons. The teachers too said, I should have chosen a scientific text to study argumentation with the students. The other teacher, the approach was separated into blocks with moments very focused on the content, reminiscent of traditional teaching. If the content had been better distributed during the lessons, the results would have been better, as the students would have had more time to understand and reflect. According to teachers 3 and teacher 4, they find it very difficult to make the specific disciplinary content emerge from the discussions on the topic. So they end up concentrating the whole conceptual approach in a few moments, which goes against the didactic sequences proposal. The others, dissatisfaction with the integrating theme problem in question or STEAM challenge explored. After carrying out the lessons, 3 teachers expresses the lack of objectivity in the problem in question resulted in the revelation of arguments that escaped the theme. The topic seemed distant from the student context, causing lack of interest. and consequently poor performance in the activities carried out. The way this team challenge was presented left many gaps by not clearly presenting the objectives and criteria for solving it. Teachers realized that very broad questions can lead to deviations from the topic, jeopardizing the completion of activities. But there are positive highlights on the planning and execution of didactic sequences. Three teachers highlighted the contribution of the orientation and discussion of material recommended for the internships. Studying the materials provided by the supervisor made it possible to understand how to relate the teaching objects to the new proposals presented in the official documents. Reading various articles helped prepare me to explore argumentation, and the individual guidance cleared up my doubts and was very significant in preparing the sequences. The discussion held during the orientation contributed to my education, making me organize myself and seeking more knowledge. Interactions, engagement, and feedbacks. 4 teachers expressed satisfaction with the students' engagements. Even with more agitated classes, it was possible to find the methods of captivating the students' attention. The excellent learning results make me happy to know that I managed to achieve what I wanted. The dynamics of creating and producing a game was considered by them to be a different way of understanding the content. And more highlights, positive highlights. Methodologies, teaching resource, and their role in student education. 2 teachers explained the contribution of the methodologies and teaching resources explored to the success of the activities. The success went beyond the conceptual approach to chemistry, exploring themes that are relevant to the student's education. The slides, crossword puzzles, molecular kits, and cultural artifacts explored favorite expression through art, stimulate creativity, and human development. The role of internship in professional training. These teachers showed confidence in their professional practice and emphasized that the role played by internship in their training. Here we highlight 4 fragments. I prepared to face the challenges of the classroom. Studying the integrating teams contributed to my training. I felt challenged and tried to deliver the best result. Today, I feel confident and prepared to be a classroom. The activities carried out played an important role in my training, promoting learning about argumentation, the STEAM approach, new themes, and well as revising chemistry content. I was able to develop didactic sequences and experience the implementation of the new high school in public schools. And final considerations. This study revealed that the majority of teachers did not feel prepared to plan and implement lessons that met the demands on the new curriculum, since these demands had not been explored in other subjects during their undergraduate studies. Most of them had little knowledge of the changes in secondary school and were unaware of the methodologies for developing argumentation and STEAM approach. In this way, the script is developed for planning the didactic sequences and the study of scientific articles and official documents carried out in the orientation courses proved essential for carrying out the activities. However, after completing the internship, the teachers were very optimistic and confident that they were able to face the challenges of the classroom. Taken together, the results indicated the need for new guidance materials to be developed to support teachers' training, and above all, for the chemistry curriculum to be updated to take account of the changes in secondary school curriculum base. I would like to thank you for attention and for the opportunity to share the results of work, and I'm at your disposal should anyone be interested in contacting me to discuss things further. Thank you.